Okay, as we wait for Q1, I just realised that for some reason my mic was muted for the stream, so no one would have heard any of my commentary up until now, so I do apologise. But we are just about to enter Q3. We have Night Sniper, Sonny Stokes, CKW, Matty, Island Boy, It's Revamp, Lister, James Owl, Nice Hair, and Love Hate in the top 10 shootout. As everyone does seem to be going, I say everyone, there's 3 drivers, it's not everyone, 4 drivers. There we go, another one's going out. 5, 6. No, that does look like a lot of people are heading out. Before they're out, I believe the race will have some element of rain within it. So there's more than likely going to be a safety car in this race. So first on track is Lister, so we'll watch Lister for his first lap. Following Lister is James Owl. So I wonder if that is a tactical by James. Let someone go out first to get a nice toe down that back straight, whether you want it to start your lap or at the end of your lap. Either way, that will provide a nice bit of slipstream. By the looks of the distance view, that James is going to be in prime position to take advantage on both the start and the end of his lap. It's nicely through turn 1 and turn 2. That's the DRS wide open. Nicely through turns 3 and 4. As the purple sector 1 as he is the first on track. Nicely clipped the apex there, just staying within the limits of the track. Through Castle absolutely beautifully. Now on the run down to the all important corner. This corner here, you need to carry as much speed as possible to give you best run down this straight. During Q2 everyone was topping out at about 203 mile an hour. So we'll jump on board with Lister now to see his speed across the line as DRS opens, and you can just see the acceleration there. And up 204 miles an hour as James comes across the line, just 0.2 and a half behind, so Lister gets a 139.8. James comes across with a 140.0. Next on track was Matty, gets across with a 140.2. Night Sniper coming across a 141.9. Island, no, it's not Island Boy. Good Love Hate Games coming up to the start finish straight now. Start finish line. Trumps Night Sniper with a 141.1. Island Boy's just been through Castle. Now on the run down. Managed to get a little bit of wheel spin there. Cost him a little bit on this run to the start finish. I can see on the track map that Nice Hair's just about to pass the start finish and jumps up into 6th with 2:09. I'm assuming he had issues on his first lap. So Island Boy jumps up to 2nd with a 1:39.9. So that's everyone who was on a flying lap. I'm assuming Nice Hair is going to be going for a second attempt. Just cleared turn 4 into 5 and 6 now. Nicely on the apex of 6. A difficult sequence of corners to get right. Come up to turn 7 and unfortunately he just cut that a little bit too much. And it's invalidated that lap. As he got the fuel, he's got the fuel to go for another run. As everyone is coming back into the pit, so he's got a clear track in front of him. Will he go for a third run on this same set of softs? Or will he dive into the pits, put on a new set and leave it all to the last run? Just over 5 minutes of Q3 left now. Looks like he is just going straight on to another run on this set of tyres. So as he crosses the start finish nicely round turn 1. Turn 2 gets the DRS open. Sector 1 is all about getting that exit right onto the DRS straight. Nicely into turn 3. Cuts that curve. See how he does turn 5 and 6. Nice, and now up to turn 7 where he invalidated his lap the previous time. He takes it a little wider, compromised slightly, lose a bit of time for that line. But when you want to get a time on the board, unluckily he's just clipped that wall there. It doesn't look to have given him any damage, but can't actually tell with the game now. Spectator view shows he's got a full wing, but he could be running without an end plate. Still pushing hard. Is he going to carry on the lap, or is he going to back lean to the pits? He is carrying on, and that gives him 4th with a 1:40.1. So it's still got time available there as he goes very deep into turn 1. Almost taking the Hamilton line. So Lister is back out on track, currently provisional pole with a 1:39.8. Island Boy sitting 2nd with a 1:39.9. James is in 3rd with a 1:40.0. Nice Hair, we've just seen, do a 1:40.1. Matty is in 5th with a 1:40.2. Love Hate Games in 6th with a 1:41.1. Night Sniper with a 1:41.9 in 7th. CJW in 8th with a 1:42.7. Johnny Stokes is on an outlap, so no time set yet, and it's revamped. Hasn't left the pit and is currently sitting in 10th. Lister improves there, takes half a second off of his time to go with a 1:39.3, giving him provisional pole position at the moment. Island Boy is currently in the pits, so I'd say it's unlikely to be going out to set another lap. Let's see if we can get on board with Johnny Stokes. So, well, let's go on spectator view of Johnny Stokes as he comes to start his one and only flying lap of this session. And it's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. It's cleared and into the pits now. Hugging the wall for the run from turn 1 to turn 2. That's the DRS Open on the run up to turn 3. Get the braking point right here, just before the curb. Nicely into turn 3. Turn 4, you've got to be careful getting the power down because that will spit you out. Into 5 and 6. Nice run, let's watch this line through turn 7. Cuts that corner perfectly, gets a little bit of oversteer on the way out, and that is extremely unfortunate. There was a stuck car in the castle section that would have cost Johnny the lap. He's got no front wing, so he won't be able to set a competitive time. He hasn't now got time to get back in the pits and back out because qualifying is over. The joys of Baku and Castle. It's been known to cause multiple pile-ups. If you get stuck within Castle, the game doesn't clear your car quick enough, it can cause an absolute traffic jam. As we're now on board with James Owl on a lap, who's half a second up on his current time, so that puts him on a 1:39.5. Matty just in front, who's pitting. So we'll see if James can improve and work his way further up the grid. And James crosses the line to go second with a 1:39.4. 0.13 off of pole position. So as we stand going into the race, our top 10 are Lister with a 1:39.3, James with a 1:39.4, Island Boy with a 1:39.9, Matty with a 1:40.0, less than a tenth away from Island Boy, and just like that, times disappear off the screen and I can't remember who the bottom 5 are. Here we go. Nice Hair with a 1:40.1, Love Hate Games with a 1:41.1, Night Sniper with a 1:41.9, CJW with a 1:42.7, and Johnny Stokes and its revamp didn't manage to get the time set during that session. So now we go into the race. It's a 50% race, and as I've already seen on the Discord, it is going to be a wet race. I don't know whether that's a full wet race or a wet to dry or dry to wet, but either way, rain and Baku, it's not the bet at all. It's a full wet race start at least. So now we're waiting for the players to set their race strategy. Be interesting to see who does what, but we can see who says anything. See the safety car sitting there at the end of the pits, ready to roll out. I'm going to guess we're going to have at least one, if not more, safety cars during this session. Turn one's always interesting, and it is a full wet race, or full wet start. As they go for their formation lap, we will see, set everything up on the detail. Now we've lost everything. There we go. So we've set everything up just to show position change for the first couple of laps. Let's see how everyone gets on. So now they're going to be feeling their way around this formation lap to see where the grip is and where the grip isn't. This doesn't seem to be holding back as the pit stop strategy comes up. Looking at a one stop or a two stop race, I'd imagine on full wets you'll be looking at a one stop. I wish as a spectator we could actually have seen the weather breakdown for the race beforehand, so we knew whether it was just a wet race start to finish or if it is going to dry up at some point. Obviously I hope the race dries up because it brings in more strategy as Island Boy looks to clip the barrier there. Finding the crossover point. Oh, crossover point of the tyres here on this game is important to get right, because if you get it wrong, you're on the wrong tyre for a lap too long. So if you're on the wets and it goes to inters, whether you'll just get swallowed up by everyone. It looks like they're now reforming up onto the grid. We're just waiting for the last couple of drivers to make it through. See people typing away in the Discord, so they're obviously really concentrating. Okay, we are lining up on the start now, just waiting for the lights. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go, go, go. Lister and James look to have... Oh, can't see anything there. James looks to have got a great start there. We've got 1 round in the background, 2 round in the background. James has got the lead from Lister with Matty behind. Nice hair in 4th. Johnny Stokes in 5th. Island Boy sitting in 6th. As we have lost 3 drivers already, and it is the first safety car. We are not even through turn 3 and we have a safety car. Night Sniper, CJW and Revamp all out. So let's go through position changes. So James has managed to jump one position on the start and got past Lister, who's dropped down one. Matty has gained a position. Nice Hair has gained a position. Johnny Stokes has gained 4 and is now sitting in 5th. Great start from Johnny. Island Boy has unfortunately lost 3 positions. Mrs. Carl has gained 4. Frenzy has jumped 9 to find himself sitting in 8th. As Evan looked to get very sideways after gaining 4 places off the start. Scarito has gained 6. Pint-Sized Geezer has gained 4 positions. Love Hate Games has dropped 6. Decky has dropped 6, and Crooksy has maintained his position but is possibly carrying damage. Looks to have lost an end plate and has also picked up a penalty. 5-second penalty already for Crooksy. That's unfortunate. And let's have a look at the race director quickly whilst they are under safety car and see what that was for. So that was for a collision with Revamp, who looks to have got caught up in the turn 1 carnage. It's unfortunate with the way the game works. He will serve that under a pit stop. Sort of fortunately, there's a bug with, I say a bug, there's a feature within the game where 5-second penalties will be served in the pit stop. So if you do that pit stop under a safety car, you will serve the 5-second penalty, but you will then still be able to catch up to the safety car queue, so you don't lose as much time as if it was a actual race stop. We've had Island Boy and Evan both pit as well as Crooksy. So not really a lot to look at gap wise. Everyone's just behind the safety car. Hopefully they are all trying to keep those tyres warm. The full wets are quite difficult to keep in the temperature window, especially following the safety car at reduced speeds. It's still not unknown for accidents through the castle section, even under safety car, but it looks like everyone's making it through there. Okay, so we'll drop back to see Island Boy and Evan. Nope. As I speak, Evan gets it slightly wrong through the castle. It's facing the wrong way. So Crooksy needs to be careful as he comes through there. So Pint-Sized Geezer looks to be having some issues there, running slow. Very slow behind, dropped off the back of the safety car grid. I'd say that was the good old safety car bug. He wasn't moving as they went past him, but then the illegal overtake and you have to hand the position back. He doesn't appear to be running any wing damage at the moment, but we'll wait and see if he does dive into the pits. This is probably 2, 3, so this should be the last lap behind the safety car. No, Pint-Sized Geezer has carried on, so either running minimal damage or no damage at all. So if they can catch up to the grid, to the pack. I think it'd be quite amusing if they actually did this so there could be a dedicated safety car driver as well. It'd definitely make it more interesting. Maybe a spectator gets to control the safety car. Just to give us a lap, knocking a road car around an F1 track. But let's see as we come to the end of Sector 2 in a moment. If the lights go off, then see how everyone deals with the joys of a safety car restart, where you cannot put full power down until the safety car has pretty much completely parked up. Causes quite a bit of bottlenecking within the pack. It looks like the safety car is staying out for another lap, or it's going to be a very late call. So right on the tail of that safety car. Maybe James is practicing getting a tow down the straight from another Merc. So we've got a few diving in the pits there. We've got Frenzy in the pits, Scorito in the pits, and Decky in the pits. No penalties going to us. It look like they've had contact between themselves behind the safety car. They were carrying damage, possibly from that one, and decided now was a good time as the safety car was still out to get in. All back out on the road now. So hopefully this will be the last lap behind the safety car. I don't know what that spectator was doing with his umbrella. It was covering his face, so he couldn't even watch the race. I just realised I pointed at my screen that none of you could have seen what I was pointing at, but yeah, there we go. So coming up to Castle now, let's see, let's drop back through and see if everyone makes it through cleanly. They all look to be getting through. We'll drop back to Decky, who's decided to go on to the Inters. Let's go for tyres, is that what everyone went in for? So yeah, Frenzy, Scorito and Decky are all on the intermediate tyres. James Owl with... what's happened to James? He's DNF'd. He is sideways. That is surprising. He's lost it behind the safety car. I know George Russell did it in Imola, but he was in a Williams at the time. James has decided to do it in the Mercedes behind the safety car. So we jump back to Lister now for the safety car restart. Everyone is bunched up nicely. So let's see, does the pit for Inters pay off for these guys? Expect to see them gaining a couple of places here. Let's have a clean first group through of turn 1. Turn 2 all looks to be good. This Cole's pitted for inters. Pont-sized Geezer's pitted for inters. Love 8 is sideways round the side of turn 2. Keeping out of the way there. So that'll be a stop required for Love 8 Games. Lister's keeping hold of the lead now with Matty right behind him. Sonny Stokes just a second behind Matty. 1.5 seconds behind Matty. I do apologise, my commentary skills aren't very good. It's only the second attempt at commentary. That'll be the barrier for Lister, running deep into that corner. He's lost his end plate. That's going to affect him in the middle sector of the track. Matty is absolutely on his tail. And looks to be lining this up for a pass. He's going up the inside. And does get past. Now both diving in the pits. Everyone does seem, not I say everyone, Evan stays out on inters. Matty, Lister, Connie Stokes and Frenzy are all pitted, all going to inters. Obviously the crossover point has been reached. So Frenzy, Decky and Scorito have all jumped up to second, third and fourth respectively. They're stopped under the safety car from wets to inters. Looks to have been a master plan. They have got a 5-second advantage over Matty. Evan has a 3.5 second lead over Frenzy. So how long can he keep the wets working against the inters? That gap is now down to 2.8 seconds, so it looks like the inters are definitely the tyre to be on.
Well aimed, that calmer face with rolling eyes, rolling on the floor laughing.
James, I missed your exit. I wouldn't say karma, you had a great start. You got clean in front of Lister. But yeah, unfortunately, they have to tell us what actually happened. Did you just mess up into that last corner? So Frenzy has now closed to 1/2 second off of Evan. Evan gets very squibbly.
On formation lap.
So Evan is now diving into the pits. I'm assuming he's going to be going on to the inters the same as everyone else. Let's see where that's going to bring him out. I think he's going to be coming out around about Lister, maybe. Mrs. Cole's gone through.
He's trying to warm the rears up and just lost it.
And he is just behind his teammate Lister. Island Boy right on his tail. They are in a nice little group now, so they'll get a nice slipstream. See if they're going to work together to try and push through the pack. We'll go back. Frenzy, in catching Evan, has dropped Scorito by 4.5 second gap. This is one of the first races I've seen with Frenzy running. and it looks like he is putting in, as it stands at the moment, a bit of a masterclass on those Inter tyres. Gap to Scorito increasing by 10, so it's 4.6. So we'll watch at the end of the next lap as to where that gap has got to. As Scorito has closed it slightly to 4.3 as they go on to the back straight. Johnny Stokes has caught up to the guys that dropped onto Inters before everyone else. He is currently 0.3 behind Decky and closing. Are we going to see a brave dive into turn one? It runs deep on the exit of turn one. That gives Decky the opportunity to come back, but he doesn't. Johnny keeps that move, so Johnny Stokes moves up into third. Evan is sitting in fifth. Where's Lister's back in the pit as he had an issue? Let's see as we go on board if they're waiting with the wing. Yep, they'll be waiting with the wing. Lister has no wing. So Evan, despite staying out on the full wets for an extra lap, is now sitting in fifth. Island Boy is in sixth behind. He's got a 6.8 second gap to Evan. Crook City sitting in seventh. Pint Size Geezer on a 1 second gap behind. DXT Matty is half a second back from Pint Size Geezer. It's right on board with these as they go up to the castle section. So Matty goes for a look up and a nice pass into turn 7. So absolute confidence there in these conditions. So we've got a McLaren round. McLaren is that was Nice Hair, unfortunately has lost a wing, so will be going into the pits, I imagine, at the end of this lap. So Scorito sets the fastest lap of 1:56.1, so we're 16 seconds as an Alpine of, guessing that was Love-Hate Games in the wall. So we're back under safety car again. So lap 8 and we're on safety car number 2. And so that will close the pack back up. Unfortunately for Nice Hair, having already been lapped, that's going to make his race very difficult. Mrs. Carr was picked up at drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Won't help their race. So look, Frenzy's just going through Castle now as the safety car is waiting to pick the pack up. Nice Hair's either had a master stroke and is expecting this to dry imminently, or his pit crew have had a moment of madness, because he is out on medium tyres and it still looks rather wet for mediums. So let's see how he makes it round this lap. No. He's going to struggle to keep any temperature in those tyres whilst it is still raining, but it does, depending on the angle the Codemasters show us on spectator view, it looks light in some shots, and then others it looks far too heavy to be considering medium tyres. Frenzy's pitted for hard. It could be a master stroke. Everyone does seem to be pitting now for the dry tyres. So Frenzy's decided to pit and put on a set of hards. Scarito's pitted and gone for a set of softs. Johnny Stokes, Evan, Decky have also pitted mediums. Matty has pitted for mediums. Crooksy, and there is unfortunately the end of Nice Hair. Those mediums just maybe a little bit too soon. Pushed a little too much. Lister on mediums. 16 laps. I think mediums will just. The safety car, medium should get you to the end. Scarito will be struggling to get those softs to the end. Frenzy may find. It's now nearly stopped raining. Frenzy may find himself swallowed up on the restart on those hards, but they could come back to him. Oh no, go to a different view, and it's raining quite a bit. Oh, I love Codemasters. But Frenzy may find himself swallowed up on the restart with those hards, because they're going to be hard to get temperature in, especially if it is still a bit damp. But that may come back to him at the end of the race once the mediums and certainly the softer Scarito start to go off. Yeah, I've managed to get a bit of heat into those tyres, but if we drop back and look at Scarito's tyres are on 75 and 70 fill the rears. So it's definitely dried up. You can see the track is nigh on dry, a few spots of rain but no puddles. It does feel in this game that the weather changes rather quickly. As we watch everyone just trying to keep those tyres warm before the restart behind the safety car. Anyone got any predictions for the actual race on Sunday as the 2022 season restarts? New aero rules, massively different car designs. Who's going to come out on top? Ferrari are looking strong. Mercedes look like they've added in a few too many sandbags, but I'm sure by the time we get to Q3 on Saturday, those sandbags would have been well and truly ditched. McLaren are struggling with their front brakes. Should be a good race on Sunday. But as we go for the safety car restart, we've got Frenzy leading the way, followed by Scarito, Connie Stokes, Almighty Evan, Crooksy, Matty, Island Boy, Decky, Lister, Mrs. Carl, and Pint-Sized Geezer. So Frenzy is gone. Is everyone going to make it through turn 1 cleanly? So far it looks like they are. Going to turn 2, Frenzy's opened up a 0.6 gap. He is trying to break that toe. Scarito really needs to get this pass done and open up the gap on those softs. He needs to pull away and get himself clear. Connie Stokes is hanging on the back. How much DRS are these guys using to just keep within that 1 second for when the DRS opens? It becomes available. DRS here is just so strong, especially down the start-finish straight. Frenzy has broken that 1 second gap to Scarito on the hard, even though he's on the hard against the softs. But then, as we go down into the start-finish straight, he will be providing a nice distant toe. Connie Stokes looks to be taking advantage of as well as he pulls out to go up the inside to take second place. We've got Evan right behind Scarito as well. Will Evan make a move into turn 3? Will he just hold on and keep as close as he can to make that move down the start finish straight? And that toe is so powerful. No, he's made the move to Scarito get squirrely out of turn 4. Connie Stokes is closed, is within 0.3 of a second to Frenzy now for the lead. So I'd expect to see a pass down the start finish straight from Connie Stokes here. Almighty Evan is just half a second back from Connie. And further down the grid, Matty on the back of Scarito as well. Island Boy has dropped out of the DRS, unfortunately, and needs to abuse his ERS here to take advantage of the toe, keep in the ERS, so when the DRS becomes active he can take full advantage of it. We go back to the front. Connie Stokes goes for the pass down the start finish straight, and he has passed Frenzy. And can he keep it together through turn 1? Does nicely. Evan on the back of Frenzy as well. John is pulled half a second now on Frenzy as we go into turn 3. Turn 4. Evan looking up the outside into turn 5. Runs deep and clips the wall in turn 6. Can he keep it together? Has he picked up damage? we go into the castle section now. He is all over the back of him. Sparks flying. Keeping it clean to the top. Johnny has pulled a 1.5 second gap to Frenzy now. As Frenzy is defending from Evan. Evan within a quarter of a second and closing. That toe here is so strong. DRS wide open. Evan goes for the move. Has it done well before turn 1, but Frenzy is on the back of him there. So Evans now got a 1.2 second gap to Johnny Stokes in front. Can he close that gap down and take the fight to Johnny? As Matty is in the DRS of Frenzy as well. Scorito is just hanging on in and out of the DRS there. Seems to be dropping off now. They have pulled a 4.5 second gap over 6th. Lister sitting in 6th, having somewhat of a lonely section of the race now. It's 4.3 behind Scorito, 4.8 ahead of Decky. Decky, who's 9.5 seconds ahead of Pint Size Geezer. It's 8 seconds in front of Island Boy. It's 16 seconds in front of Crooksy. Mrs. Carl is keeping on the back of Crooksy there, so 3 seconds behind. Evan has closed to within the DRS range of Johnny now. He's 0.9 seconds behind. DRS opened. Fastest lap for Evan, a 1:42.0. The power of the toe. It's so strong around this track. So we go up to turn 3. Evan has the DRS wide open. Closing now is 0.3 as it clips that wall again. Drops him. He loses 0.3 there to Johnny as they run up to turn 5 and 6. Frenzy now 3 seconds behind Evan. Matty 0.3 behind Frenzy. As Evans just dropped out of the DRS range. Watch Matty as he goes through the castle section. See if he can line up Frenzy for a pass on the start-finish straight. Scorito is now nearly 2 seconds off of Matty. I can't believe it's softs are dead already. Scorito's 1.8 behind, Matty's 0.6 behind Frenzy. Gets the DRS open. Not closing as much as I expected. Is into turn 1 is 0.3, 0.5 behind now. And we get a second shot of DRS up into turn 3. Evans 1.5 seconds behind Johnny. Scorito now 2.1, 2.2 seconds behind Matty. I think those softs 5-6 laps old. I think they've lost their edge now. It's unfortunate. As Mrs. Cole has pitted for a set of softs, 9 laps to go. Pint-sized geezers close to under a second to Island Boy. So he comes through 5 and 6, coming up to turn 7 now. See how much they're cutting. 7, nicely done by Island Boy. Just missed pint-sized geezer, but he sounded to have clipped the wall and looked to get a compromise line into the castle section. Johnny Stokes has now pulled a 2.2 second gap to Evan. So Evans then gets some benefit of the toe, but nowhere near what he'll be looking for. Frenzy now 3.2 back from Evan. Matty still on the back of Frenzy, just 0.4 in it, 0.6 as they go into turn 2. See how powerful that DRS is. As Frenzy's light is flashing, which indicates he's low on ERS. Those Matties, so they're both hammering their ERS to try and attack and defend from each other. So Johnny Stokes is just driving out of his skin. He's pulled nearly a 3-second gap now to Evan. Evan, who's got a 3.5 second gap to Frenzy behind on those hards. We're trying to hold on to those hards as long as possible. Not overcook them, not overwork them. And so in the last 5 or so laps, when the mediums start to wear, it's got some performance to give and take the fight back to these guys at the front. So Lister's past Scorito, who's into the pits after 7 laps on those softs. Just given up on them now. Is he going to go for another set of softs? Try and get to the end on those. Great camera angle. He's serving his 5-second stop. His 5-second penalty, and yep, it looks like he is back out on softs. So it comes out just behind Island Boy. Obviously on fresh softs he's going to have the advantage, but he needs to make it work. Needs to get on the back of Island Boy and get past him, and then start working his way up. He's got a 14-second gap between Island Boy and Decky. As Decky's now past Frenzy as well. So his hards aren't working out for Frenzy at the moment. Johnny Stokes in front has opened the gap up to 3.7 on Evan. And it's 6.2 seconds back to Matty. Lister is gaining on Matty now. He's 0.8 behind as they go into the final straight. So he'll have the benefit of that toe. He'll have DRS any second now, and it's closing now. The gap is 0.4. 0.3 as they cross the line. Going to the outside, Lister gets round Matty. That was a nice tidy move. But then Matty will get the DRS down into turn 3. Lister looks to be holding that gap. So if Matty can stay on the back of Lister, they have a chance down the start-finish straight. They've now got an 11-second gap behind Matty to Decky. There's 13 seconds in front of Burrito as Pint-Sized Geezer's DNF'd. Looks like he may have gone in. He may have retired in the pits. Not sure because there's no yellow flag showing and his car's not showing on the map. So now that means the cars running are Johnny Stokes with a 3.7 gap to Almighty Evan. He's got a 6-second gap to Lister. It's 1.4 seconds in front of Matty. He's got an 11.4 second gap to Decky. He's got an 11.6 second gap to Scarito, who's 2.8 in front of Island Boy. He's got a 19-second gap to Frenzy. 6.5 seconds to Crooksy, and then 1 minute 20 to Mrs. Carl, who will, I'm assuming now, jump up into 10th. So everyone running as it stands at the moment will be scoring points today. So far on lap 21 we have lost Pint-Sized Geezer, Nice Hair, Love Hate Games, James Owl behind the safety car, Night Sniper, CJW and its Revamp all out in a turn 1 incident. So as we follow round with Johnny Stokes now, he has opened that gap to 4 seconds to Almighty Evan. No real close gaps at the minute to look at any wheel-to-wheel battles. Everyone seems to have spread out and settled into their position. Excuse me. Gaining. Who's gaining now? Let's see if how well Lister can catch up to his teammate. He's 5.3 behind at the moment. Let's see if we can gain any up here. Up into turn 3. He's got Matty behind, 2.6 seconds behind him. Does look like the gaps are staying quite stable at the moment. Watching the delta between Scarito and Decky, see if Scarito can make those softs work. Also Frenzy and Island Boy. Frenzy is now on the softs as well, so can he close up? 15-second gap to close and 4 laps remaining. So big ask. Don't believe there's that much of a difference between the softs and mediums, especially as Island Boys mediums are only 6 laps old, so they're still in their sweet spot. The gap between Lister and Evan is remaining static, so we'll drop through and see how everyone looks down the start finish straight. We'll go on with Decky at the moment. Just be keeping it nice and tidy. Just watch for his line into turn 1. Go on board, let's compare people's lines into turn 1. he runs to the left hand side of the start finish straight, and then I've missed Scorritos and I've missed Island Boys. I'm doing really great at this. Right, we'll drop back to Frenzy. Let's see how tight he takes it. So he moves over to the right a lot earlier than Decky did. Gives you a bit more rotation in and on the apex. So it's Crooksy now, former champion of GP2. He keeps further to the right as well, a lot further back. And can we see the former champion, last year's champion of GP2, Johnny Stokes? That's what's his line into turn one. Let's compare. And I'm not watching this because I've got a GP1 race Monday at this track as well, and just to work it out. And he keeps further left. Surprises me. I thought he'd ride more of the curb there. So looking at the Discord, it looks like Pint-Sized Geezer was distracted by something at home. I think we'll put it that way. Which is what caused his DNF. Which is unlucky. You could do what I do and get yourself a shed, set yourself up in there, then they can't distract you. Especially if you lock all the doors towards it and leave the key in the door, then they can't unlock it from the outside. But yeah, you were putting in a good performance. It was fun to watch you for a few laps. There's next week. You've got TTFL as well, and any other leagues that you're in. So don't let it get you down. Concentrate now on next week. Put in a good performance. So Lister has closed up to 3 seconds on the back of Evan. Slowly gaining, but I think it's not going to be enough to get the jump. But they are, as it stands at the minute, you are going to have a double Ferrari podium. It's a great start to the season for Ferrari. We'll give them the constructors' lead at the moment. Obviously, this is only the first race of the restarted season, so it is all still to play for. Next week, the guys are off to France, followed the week after by Silverstone. Then we're going to Austria, Zandvoort, Imola, Barcelona, the Hungaroring. Question mark over the race on May the 13th as to whether it will be as originally planned on the calendar of Russia, or if we will be replacing that race with another race. 20th of May will be at Spa, 27th of May will be at Mexico, 3rd of June off to Canada, 10th of June at Brazil, followed by the USA, and the final race of the season will be Abu Dhabi, where we have been happily informed Michael Massey will not be in charge of the safety car. as Matty has had some sort of incident on the final straight and is in the middle of the track. I'm assuming he must have clipped a wall. That's unfortunate. He was doing so well, sitting up in fourth. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8 drivers DNF'd in this race so far. I was expecting a high rate of DNFs. I wasn't quite expecting nearly half the grid to go out. That's unfortunate. Gaps at the front are remaining stable as Johnny comes to start the final. No, Johnny is well on the way to the end of his final lap. I'm hoping by the time we get to the end of the season, my commentary skills have improved, because they're not the greatest. But if you have stuck around to listen to me waffle the whole race, then thank you for doing so. Hopefully next week I will have a co-commentator with me in the form of Lewis, so it will make life a little bit easier. But now, as the race comes to a close, Johnny Stokes takes his first win of this season, followed by Almighty Evan and Listler. So that's an Aston Martin Ferrari podium. Decky comes across the line to take fourth. Scarito now takes fifth. Island Boy on the run down to the line with Frenzy just behind him takes sixth and seventh. Crooksy now coming into the end of Sector 2 before the start of Sector 3, which is just a straight power straight down, flat out now, all the way to the line. Mrs. Carl, unfortunately, having been lapped, but picks up 9th place, so that's important points for her in her ongoing battle with Mr. Carl. And there is Crooksy across the line to finish our race tonight. Almighty Evan getting the driver of the day. So I now just do the customary screenshots for the results. Quick scan through the race director, and we will be back next week for the French Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed listening to me waffle on, then please leave a like and a comment, or a comment. If you haven't liked it, leave a comment, tell me why, let me know what I need to do to improve. But I will speak to you all next week.